Hi everyone, welcome back to another dog grooming video. So today we have Cash here, who is a 2-year-old Yorkshire Terrier. He is an intact male, which means that he is not neutered. Today he did get a full groom service, which means he got the works. He got his bath and blow dry, nails cut, ears cleaned, anal glands expressed, and of course his fabulous haircut. We're doing a number 2 comb on him, which leaves about 3/8 of an inch of hair. Now this length is really good if you want a low maintenance haircut. It still leaves some hair on them, so they still look, a little bit fluffy, but at the same time it definitely slows down having to go to the groomers. You don't have to brush them and maintain their coat as much as you would if it was longer. Now Cash comes in every 4 to 6 weeks to get his haircut, so he's maintained pretty well. In this clip, he's already been bathed and blow dried, so we're gonna go ahead and just finish up his entire haircut. So I'm just going over his entire body right now, pretty much setting the pattern of what we're gonna do. He's a really good boy and he does not mind getting his hair cut at all. He doesn't mind the clippers or anything like that. So here we are doing his sanitary trim. Now, for obvious reasons, you have to be extremely careful and gentle in this area. You want to apply the least amount of pressure with the clippers and blade as possible, so as not to irritate the skin. As well as the anus area. This part is very important to keeping, feces and anything else that might come out of there from getting on the hair. Also, when it comes to do the testicles, you want to be very, very, very gentle. On a traditional Yorkie head, we do tip the ears. That's basically where you just shave 1/3 of the tip of the ear. You don't have to do it, but like I said, it is a staple for a traditional Yorkie head. Okay, now we're about to start on his face. So what I like to do is use my thinning shears to get the hair from the corners of the eyes. Some groomers do shave with the clippers down the bridge of the nose, and it's perfectly fine if you do, or if you like it. It does give it a lot, cleaner look. However, I find that using the thinning shears gives it a more natural look, and a lot of customers seem to prefer it that way. Moving right along, we're going to go ahead and get started on his head. We are going to pretty much comb everything together at the top of his head, and then we're going to trim off the length that is desired. Because his body is relatively short, we want to do a shorter, what's called a top knot, which is basically just the top of the head. That way everything is in proportion. You don't want to have a short haircut on the body but then have like really long hair left on the head. It makes the dog look lopsided and completely out of proportion. Now that we have the top of the head the length that we want, we're just going to comb everything forward to trim his visor. Now, the visor is that little bang that's in front of the eyes. This part is very important, of course, to, keep the hair from falling in your dog's face. Depending on the length of the hair, you can go shorter or, you can go longer. I've had some clients who actually liked a longer visor. It's really personal preference. part is done, I'm going around the edge of the ears. This gives the tipped ears that clean look, like the little triangles that they are. You want to be extremely careful, obviously, around this part. The ear leather is a very, very delicate part of the ear. If it is nicked or cut, it will bleed profusely. So obviously we, try to avoid this at all costs. If you're grooming your dog at home, I just ask that you please be extremely careful around this part. If you aren't confident in doing that, then I don't recommend you trimming around the ear leather at all. Just save it for the professional. Okay, now we are going around his face. I am using my large thinning shears to blend it out. Dogs with drop coats, which is the straight coat like this, like Yorkies, Shih Tzus, Maltese, their hair is very unforgiving, so it can leave a lot of marks if you aren't using the proper techniques or the proper tools. Also right here, I'm trimming his lip line, and it's just basically getting all that yucky brown hair. That's also the part of the mouth that will collect a lot of food if left, so we just like to get rid of it. Now we're going around his head, just fine-tuning the shape. This can be called a teddy bear cut, a teddy bear head, just for the roundness of it. Some owners like to leave their Yorkie heads a little bit longer or have more of a square shape to it. Like I said before, it's really owner preference. But a lot of groomers refer to this head as a teddy bear head, and it really is a staple for all breeds. It's a great head. It's super cute. It's low maintenance, and it's actually one of my personal favorites. How cute is he? Now that the majority of his head is done, I will go back later on and just neaten up any hairs that I see sticking out. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on scissoring his body and his legs. Here I am rounding the feet. This gives a very, very cute look to the haircut. Also keeps it clean. When your pup goes outside, they track a lot less stuff back in the house, such as leaves or twigs or anything like that. Once again, if you're doing this at home, I urge you to be really careful not to cut the pads. You can easily nick a part of the foot, and if you do, you can just apply pressure, and if you have Quick Stop, which is a blood clotting tool, you can just put that on and that should help it. Of course, depending on the severity of the cut. If it's something really bad, then definitely take your pet to the vet, but just be careful when you're trimming around the feet. Here I am working on his outline, and this just gives the overall haircut the neatened look that it needs. I am trimming away any hairs that are sticking out. You kind of have to envision the end result, and anything that's not in the line of that, you can just trim it away. For dogs that aren't neutered, I like to hold their testicles when I'm trimming in this area. Obviously, it definitely lessens the risk of nicking them, and I feel like it's just a good practice so accidents don't happen. Going around the back feet here, trimming up all that hair, and really just fine-tuning the haircut. As you can see, Cash is really used to getting his hair cut. He's such a good boy. He just stands there the majority of the time. Sometimes he's a little bit nosy, like right there, because he wants to see what's going on, but he's a great dog. He really is. just going over everything again, just checking my lines. This is really a part of the grooming process, is going back, retrimming, combing, pulling out hair, having the dog shake, just to make sure that you have the neatest result as possible. Now we're coming to the end of this video, so I want to go ahead and thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. Before we go, let's have a look at Cassius before. And let's look at him now that he's all done. Oh my goodness, isn't he a handsome boy? Leave a comment below and let me know, what do you think of his haircut and how do you like to groom your Yorkies? Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. We will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.